Patient Smith is a 4-month-old term infant who is post-operative day 2 from a laparotomy with 6 centimeters of bowel resection and primary reanastomosis for bowel obstruction. Post-operatively, he is awaiting return of bowel function and noted to have progressive abdominal swelling. Secondary to abdominal competition, he has required increasing positive pressure for adequate ventilation. While attempting to obtain an abdominal x-ray, the bedside nurse notices an acute desaturation that does not resolve with bagging through the ET tube, so she hits the code bell.
Can you increase the oxygen or bag?
Denise, what's going
start
on?
bagging. We were just getting an abdominal x-ray, and he had an acute desaturation. He was descending down into the 70s.
Okay.
I'm just afraid that the endotracheal tube might not be in the right place.
Okay, so it looks like our SAT's in the 70s. If I could have the code team at the bedside, please. I can start to assess the patient. I'm going to assume the role of code leader for this resuscitation.
Make sure that the role of code leader is identified at the onset of the code and that the leader makes themselves known by standing on the code leader stool.
Megan and Ann, could I have you at the head of the bed and to assess the breathing sounds of the patient? And Denise, could you please assess the vitals?
Yes, I'll keep an eye on the vitals and provide any interventions that are necessary.
I'll listen to the chest. I'm Trisha. I'll be the nurse lead for this, so I'm going to help designate roles. Avery, would you mind managing the code cart?
Yes, I'll manage the code card.
And Caitlin, do you mind documenting?
Yes, I will record.
Closed-loop communication is critical to ensure timely execution of tasks during a code. If asked to do something, respond clearly that you have heard the request. If making a request to a team member, wait until you receive confirmation before moving on.
Megan, can I have you bag the patient while Ann listens for breath sounds?
Yes, we're bagging 100%.
Okay, the breath sound diminished bilaterally, but they're louder on the right than on the left.
So based on that, I feel like Denise's thought might have been correct that the ET tube is dislodged. So Ann, can you please prepare for reintubation?
I can untape.
While we do that, Denise and Megan, if you could stay at the bedside so all of us can change into the appropriate PPE due to COVID, and then we will relieve you. It looks like the heart rate is now below 100 and dropping. Avery, could you please prepare epinephrine for the patient? The patient weighs 6 kilograms and will need 0.01 mg per kg.
Great. This patient's 6 kilograms, and I'm going to prepare several doses of 0.01 milligrams per kilogram of epi.
Think ahead. To ensure that products and medications are available at the bedside when needed, anticipate their need and request for them to be prepared as soon as possible and before they need to be administered.
Are you ready to intubate?
Yes, I'm ready. If you continue to bag with minimum pressure, I will use the CMAC and we'll use COVID precautions.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
All right.
And because our patient is desaturated and has low heart rate, and we're in a code situation, we're not going to do RSI meds.
Okay.
Okay. I'm in. If you want to take out the stylet and then blade the
Stylet is out.
and then I'll take the blade out.
Cuff is up.
Directly
And we're
to
on
the
the
vent.
vent.
And do we have ventilator?
Do we have entitled?
Yes.
Awesome. Denise, could you please listen for breath sounds?
Yes, I can listen for breath
And let us
sounds.
know what you hear.
I hear diminished breath sounds on the left.
Okay. It looks like our heart rate is actually dropping now below 60. And so if we could initiate compressions.
Yes, I can
if we
do
get the backboard in
compressions.
place. And check for a
Sorry
pulse.
guys, I'm just gonna. I'm checking for a femoral pulse. I do feel a pulse.
Awesome. And our heart
And I'm
rate is
gonna
now
initiate
53.
compressions.
Perform high-quality CPR by ensuring that compressions occur on a backboard and with a compression depth of 1/3 of the anterior-posterior depth of the chest.
Great. Can we please administer 0.01 mg per kg of epi?
This is 0.06 milligrams of epi.
I'm administering 0.06 milligrams of epinephrine.
Awesome, thank you. So if we can just take a minute to recap. It looks like after reintubation, the patient appears still depressed with bradycardia and desaturations. And so I think it's just important to review other possible causes that could explain this depressed state. Reviewing our H's and T's, we have hypovolemia, hypothermia, hydrogen ion disruptions. We have tamponade or tension pneumothorax, Does anyone have any sense or thoughts as to what could be causing this patient's current state?
I'm worried about a tension pneumothorax, given that we've heard diminished breath sounds on the left under both auscultations.
In cases where a patient does not respond as expected, it is critical to review other reversible etiologies that could lead to cardiac or respiratory arrest. The H's and T's mnemonic may be helpful and includes hypovolemia, hypoxia, hydrogen ion excess, hypoglycemia, hypokalemia, hyperkalemia, hypothermia, tamponade, tension pneumothorax, toxins, and thrombosis.
That's an excellent point, and Trish, can you please transilluminate the chest to assess for pneumothorax?
I see presence of a pneumothorax on the left.
Great. Avery, if you could please prepare a butterfly needle with stopcock to evacuate the air.
Yes, I'll prepare that.
We're approaching the 2-minute mark. We should check a pulse and change compressors.
I can check a pulse.
Denise, I'll switch compressors with you.
I do feel a pulse, but the heart rate's still less than 60.
Great, so we'll continue compressions for another 2 minutes.
CPR occurs in 2-minute cycles. Every 2 minutes, switch the person performing compressions to ensure high-quality CPR. Additionally, a pulse check should be performed as compressions can affect telemetry readings.
While we're waiting for the butterfly needle, how long has it been since our last dose of epinephrine?
It's only been 2 minutes since our dose of epinephrine.
Okay, great. While we're waiting for the required 3 minutes, could you please prepare some other doses, Avery, of the
Yes,
epinephrine?
I'll prepare another dose of 0.06 milligrams of epinephrine.
Medication should be administered at the proper time intervals. For example, epinephrine should be administered every 3 to 5 minutes.
I have the butterfly stopcock for your needle
great.
decompression.
All right, so I'm going to go in the second intercostal space in the mid-clavicular line. If you could make sure that it's off to the room.
Yes, it is.
And then pull back when I say to go. Okay, I'm inserting, pull back.
Okay, I'm pulling back. I'm
Okay,
getting a
great.
lot of air.
Good.
I'm getting 45 cc's of air.
Okay, so off to the baby, open to the
Yep.
room.
Pushing that air out. Yep.
Okay, let's see if we can get any more.
Okay.
Off to the room.
Pulling back. I'm not getting any more air back.
Okay, great.
Excellent. It looks
I'm
like
gonna
with
pull
the
out.
needle
Okay.
decompression, the patient's vital signs have started to recover. Excellent job, everyone. In recap, it looks like the patient, in the process of being moved for abdominal film, had a possible unplanned extubation and a pneumothorax, and is recovering appropriately. The next steps are to debrief the family and to then have a debrief ourselves.